G'day Eurovision lovers, welcome back to the Rob Pop YouTube channel, your #1 pit stop for all things Eurovision this year, and look at moi, it's time to react to Australia's entry for Eurovision 2025. Yes, that's right, in this video I'll be reacting to Gojo's Milkshake Man, which will be representing Australia in Basel this May. And Australia, happy 10th anniversary. Cast your minds back to 2015 when Guy Sebastian represented Australia for the first time in Eurovision, and we are just as happy to see them here now as we were then. We've got rid of the questions of why are Australia in Eurovision. Honestly, may we never know, but may we never care, because honestly they've given us some really great songs over the years, but they are coming off the back of a non-qualification last year with Electric Fields. Honestly, I would have liked to have seen that song in the final. By the time it got to the live version, I actually really enjoyed it. But it will be interesting to see what Australia go from there. They were so close last year, but will this be the song that brings them back to the final on their 10th anniversary? I'm about to find out and take a sip of that milkshake. Is Gojo your man? We'll have to wait and see. But before we do begin, as ever, you know the drill. I am going to ask you to subscribe to this channel. We're making our way very, very nicely towards the 900 round, which was my target for this Eurovision year. So if you want to come along and join me for a real Kempo time, then you know what to do. Give this video a subscribe, give this video a like, hit the bell for notifications, and comment down below, because I'm always interested to hear what you think. The more opinions, the better. But as ever, very excited to see what Australia are bringing to the Eurovision Song Contest. So this is Gojo, this is Milkshake Man, and I'm about to hit play. Let's go. Okay, we're going for the televote this year, aren't we? I can't work out if I find him disturbing or sexy.
Both.
Speechless. Currently, not super enjoying this. I feel like if they stage this right, this could have the right amount of like psychedelic chaos that makes it not feel entirely novelty. Somewhere, Harry Styles has gone off the rails, and this is what's happened in another life. It's certainly very interesting from Australia. They could have played it safe after last year, and they're not. Oh, I like this. I like the bits that feel kind of psychedelic and like synthy and a bit crazy in the right way. The lyrics are kind of throwing me off more than anything. I think the production's the best part of it. It's really well produced, actually. I am liking this last minute. I feel like it's come to a really good crescendo. It is catchy. It just takes to the end of this song to enjoy. Well, I didn't see that coming.
Has the world gone mad? Or have I?
Everyone is just so horny at Eurovision this year, honestly. I went into many different modes in my brain trying to work out how I felt about that as the whole song went along. I will say I thought that the production was really good, and that was my main criticism of last year's entry, was that like I felt like it was in the demo stages. This didn't. I thought it had a real energy to it. It had a real sort of upbeat, up-tempo, fun vibe to it. It felt quite like psychedelic. It had a retro vibe but sort of brought into a modern age. I kind of got Harry Styles tease from the vibe of it. He would never release a song like this, but sort of like the style of Gojo. I can tell there is like a good song beneath it, and I do find it fun, but there was something a little bit messy about it for me, and I'm just not sure that I do want to taste the milkshake, or maybe it will just take a few more listens to digest. Structurally, it felt a little bit all over the place. It kind of never seemed fully like it knew where it was going, and it almost feels a bit too much to me like a lot of good ideas thrown in a blender, but the end product isn't quite as complete as I want it to be. And there are other people doing fun this year in a more complete fashion, and in my opinion, with a better song. And quite honestly, there is only so much that the televote can vote for. There are so many songs this year that I've reacted to and I've gone, well, this is a telephone magnet, this is a telephone magnet, this is a telephone magnet. But like, this is in the same semi-final as the likes of Ich Komme and Kant. Two very weird songs, but in my opinion, those songs are better. You've got your Espresso Macchiato. There are a lot of songs shouting for a televote this year, but there are elements of it that I do really like. It is fun, it is well produced, it is interestingly written, it does catch your attention, and I do think Gojo is a very interesting performer. He seemed very committed to the bit. I can tell that he's got charisma. I think the stage presence will be there, which is vital, and I think so much of this is going to come down to how they stage it and how Gojo delivers it. Because in my brain, if they can create a world that feels very like Technicolor, sorry to mention that word, Montaigne, ice cream trucks on stage, and it all feels a bit like mayhem and chaos, this could actually be really fun. We've seen that they almost played Espresso Macchiato down, but this could have a real sense of chaos about it, and I think that would be really fun if it just feels like everything is going wild on the stage. Then maybe I could buy into this. This could all come to life, and I see a world where I do end up loving this, but as a first listen, I did find it a bit confusing, and I don't know that I'm in love with this the way that I want it to be, because I am the type of person who falls in love with these televote aim songs. I'm not the type of person who typically goes for your ballads. I love me an up-tempo, I love me a crazy song. There's just some things missing from this. Honestly though, I would rather see them go for stuff like this and be bold than then return to sending, you know, your Sheldon Rileys and like your Voice alumni with X Factor winning songs or songs written by Swedes. There's something about this which feels bold, it feels confident, and it feels like Australia are really trying to make their mark. And I feel like they spent the first few years trying to sort of blend in with safe pop, but I really appreciate that in the last 3 years that Voyager really stood out. Last year really stood out with Electric Field, with like the Aboriginal elements, and this really stands out as well. So I do think that whilst my first listen isn't crazy about it, there is a lot more to latch onto than a song like Espresso Macchiato, which rests on its laurels of being silly. This has got a lot of ticks in its box with the production and some of the fun, playful lyricism. This has got a lot in its corner that I can see myself warming to, and that I really applaud Australia for sending. I'm always down for the batshit, and if that batshit can come to Eurovision in its full glory, I reserve my right to take back my word, like I did with like Doomsday Blue last year when that ended up being one of my top 5 favourites. I reserve the right to change my mind and be like, you know what, I was wrong, because I love people going bold, and good on Australia for going bold with something like this. That is definitely something that I will say. That's my opinion, but what do you think? Let me know down below. Are you appreciating the taste of this milkshake, or has that milk just gone sour for you? Always open to all opinions and definitely interested to see what you hear, especially if you're from Australia. Are you happy that this is representing you? All opinions are welcome. But for now, that does bring me to the end of this video. Sending love to you all down under, and last but not least, good night.